DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool. Tonight's DJNTV show is sponsored in part by Electro Voice, DJ Event Planner, ADJ, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, and DJNTV Insiders.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Wedding Chat with just a second. Dave Ternier and Jeremy Brech.
Hey,
that's us.
Man, I tried to keep a straight face for as long as I could, and I'm laughing on the inside, and I couldn't stop. Thanks for that introduction, John. It's nice to hear that again.
It's good to have you guys
so
back.
I don't know how many people are actually going to be watching over the summer here, but we missed each other. We haven't seen each other in forever, so we felt that we should connect again, and hopefully everyone's going to connect with us, right?
Great.
Oh, who didn't silence their phone? That sounds like an iPhone.
Welcome to live TV, everybody. Where
you know what kind of phone doesn't interrupt the show? All right.
The downside to having all of your computers ring when your phone rings. Anyway, it's great to be back. It's actually felt kind of weird getting back on tonight. What have we been gone? A month and a half?
It's got to be a month. And I mean, you kind of do go through withdrawals, you know. You have, and I know we're busy and everyone else is busy, and I'm sure like this is probably going to get 2 views, which you're viewing it and I'm viewing it, so we'll reach at least 2.
Money.
But yeah, I mean summer's a great time. Obviously, that's kind of the bulk of a lot of people's seasons. And I think tonight's show, we're actually going to talk about how, you know, sometimes we do get so busy and sometimes we just need to kind of stop and we need to regroup and make time for yourself, because if you don't, you're going to miss out on a lot. I mean, you have 2 girls?
I do. Two plus Catherine, 3 girls.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? That's a great starting point. Let's maybe quickly establish, just in case folks don't remember, what our contextual situation is, because I think that really plays into, you know, the notion of what do you mean summer gets so busy. So for me, in my case, I do this full time and my wife works shift work. So that actually is something that's going for me in this case, because that means we really don't know what a weekend is, because she's right. It's not like she's on Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, whatever. So this is full time for me, but because she shift work schedules all over the place. So sometimes I get days off in the middle of the week, but as a general rule, Sundays are my day off. Do not try to contact me on Sundays because you won't hear from me.
Yeah, exactly.
Your situation is similar. Well, no, your situation is quite a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah. So Sarah, my wife, actually is in our company and she takes care of all our marketing, our media, our bookkeeping, just the communications, things that I really don't like to do or I don't want to do. But, you know, and actually this is going to be a nice segue. The reason we brought her on was to take some of that weight off my shoulders and to not just, I mean, really, yeah, it was just to relieve some of that stress of all of this extra things that I shouldn't be doing or shouldn't have to be doing. She's much more organized than I am, and I'm a pretty organized person. But it's good. It's good to have us both in there or in the company, because we have different perspectives. But more importantly, we now have the flexibility in our schedule. And I know that's hard for you and Catherine, because, she has a kind of set schedule that you guys have to work around. So again, our goal when Sarah came on was, yes, do some work and take over some of the projects and things that I don't want to do. But it also gives our family flexibility, which is extremely important. And again, that's going to be our focus here tonight. Our show is Wedding Chat with Dave and Jer, but I think all of those people who go through the same thing we do, and there might be some people out there that DJ part-time and they're super busy in the summer because they're working part-time, or they're working full-time, I'm sorry, and they're DJing on the side. And I mean, props to you. That's I've been there, and I know, Dave, you've been there. That's a lot of work. That's really hard to take on. And I can tell you, you're probably working harder than you need to, because this industry or this business can be very beneficial financially, through your family. I mean, there's so many things that it can do. And if you are having to go to a 9 to 5 or an 8 to 4, 8 to 5 job, and then do this on the weekends, man, I seriously applaud you for keeping up with that. Cause I don't think I could do it anymore.
Well, and that's, I was just actually messaging with somebody on Facebook earlier today about the struggle, when you're trying to make this full time. And I almost think, as much as that person might be working harder than they need to be, if they're trying to get full time, that's also an essential path for them to go through, because this has to be a part-time thing. I insist you have the quote unquote real job, day job, whatever the hell you want to call it, so that you have the mental freedom to take risks with your DJ business that you might not otherwise do if it was how you paid your mortgage. Yeah, that's maybe a topic for another time. But yeah, there are those who are part-time who, for those people, and if you're working 9 to 5 elsewhere, your summers gets eaten up pretty quick, more so than Jeremy's and mine do. And then there are folks who maybe aren't as busy as they would like to be, but in that same vein, they say, I get lots of time off in the summer. It's just how I want it to be. But maybe secretly they wish it was busier, but they're able to say they get lots of time off because they're not as busy as they'd like to be. So I guess this conversation that Jeremy and I want to have those about, okay, this is all we do. It's really easy to get all consumed by it. How do we pull back?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would actually, if there is anybody watching live, I would love to get them chatting. So, go on the Facebook page and start chatting with us, because we would love to get feedback, and we'd like to hear, not just your perspective, but how you manage it all, whether you are full-time or whether you're a full-time job and a DJ company, or maybe you're a full-time job and you work for a DJ company, whatever it is. Just curious on how you manage your schedule, how you manage your family life, and balance all that out.
So we do have a couple people watching and commenting. Silvio, sorry, we did not introduce ourselves and say where we're from. He's like, hi, where are you guys based? I'm Dave Ternier. I am in Manitoba, Canada, and Jeremy is 9-ish hours south of me.
Yep, I'm down in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, right in the middle of the Midwest, or somewhere in the Midwest. But yeah, we're both full-time DJs, and Dave is a single op. I'm a multi-op. Dave is a Mac. I am a PC. Dave is an iPhone. I am a Droid.
So clearly that tells you all you need to know about
it really is. We definitely have our similarities, but we have our differences, and that's what makes this show extremely fun.
Yeah. So in my case, I up until I guess last summer, I didn't take any holiday time in the summer. Now there's a tipping point when it comes to all of this, and I'll maybe quickly mention that there is a point in your business, if you're really trying to make it full-time, where you can't take a holiday in the middle of the summer, because that just is not logical when there are 12, 16, 20 other weeks of the year you could take holiday. For me, I was thrilled to find that tipping point though, where, I was earning enough per wedding that I could say, I'm going to take 1 weekend off a month. Now, that's not a place, I don't know about you, Jared, that is not exactly a place I ever thought I would get to. Now, you know, 85% of my total company revenue is weddings. So just so people understand, how much I depend on weddings. For
Yeah.
me to take a weekend off every month was a really big step. And that's through the summer months I'm talking.
Mm-hmm.
Last year in July, actually, I unfortunately had a wedding cancel on me, which I was really disappointed about because it was an opportunity to travel about 12 hours away from where I lived. This was a couple who was really investing in me to make that happen. And so as a result, because I all of a sudden had this weekend off in July, I ended up being able to join my wife and our 2 kids on the camping trip with her folks and her brother, which I was not going to be able to make otherwise. And Jared, I came out of that week going, damn, I am not going through a summer again without a holiday. And I don't mean a holiday just taking a couple of days off. I mean getting away over a weekend like a normal person does. So that was a tipping point for me. I was, I guess 2 things, right? I was kind of quasi forced into it. But the company was at a point where I could say no. So I try to take out of the 4 busiest summer months, which for me is, what am I doing? June, July, August, September. I
Mm-hmm.
try to take 3 weekends out of those 4 months off.
And so my scenario is a little bit different. Well, it's a lot of bit different.
Yeah.
Because really, running a multi-op, I still have guys going out. My company is still making money, even though I'm personally not going out. And it's a lot more to manage. Absolutely. I'm not worrying about just myself. Now I'm worrying about 3, 4 other guys that are going out on a weekend. And, Dave, we actually had this conversation last week that, I have to find that time. I have to find that break where I'm not working every weekend. And I tell my clients this every time when I sit down in a sales meeting. I'll let them know that I only want to do this many weddings a year personally, because I have 3 girls. I don't want to miss their life. I don't want to miss graduate, or I don't want to watch everything go by. And then in graduation, I'm wondering, oh my gosh, where did the time go?
Yeah.
So I basically filled my quota through the year. And how I planned it, because for those of you who don't know, we actually have a lake house, which is about an hour, 40 minutes from us. And we love spending time there. Also this year, my family went on a trip to Disney and in Florida. So the way I planned out my entire schedule, again, we still had a full schedule. I personally just wasn't on it.
Right.
I had to turn people down when they asked for me personally to do their wedding. I said, you know what? I have to have this weekend off. And they understood, they got it. But I had a wedding on that first weekend in June, which I think was like June 2nd. And I had not done a wedding the entire summer until this last weekend. So I basically had about 6 to 7 weeks off in one of the busiest times of our season, which is summer.
And that does speak to the scale and the size of your company too.
Yes, exactly. Now I did do things during the middle of the week. It's not like I wasn't working and I was just sitting back for 7 weeks.
Right.
I personally didn't engage myself into an event where I had to put all the extra time, the extra effort, and then be away on the weekend. So, like I said, there's still a lot of work that goes on. Now, that being said, I had an extremely busy spring and I had an extremely busy fall coming ahead. But you know what? I'm not usually going to be at the lake in the spring, and I make sure I manage my schedule where I can go see my kids play soccer. I can see my kids' spring programs. And you know what? We make sacrifices. I missed my kids' spring band concert. And I mean, you hate when they're like, you hate when they come up to you like, you really missed my concert. And I really wish we'd have been there. I mean, that stuff kills you. But again, it's knowing that I had 7 weeks coming up in the summer where I was going to be able to spend time with them and just kind of, mend that hole if you want to, put it in kind of into perspective.
Yeah.
Because I know that hurt them, that I missed that, but now I'm getting that quality time that I wanted and deserve. So it's a little give and take. I mean, that's really what our business is all about.
Yeah. Well, and you and I, Jer, I know for a fact, you and I both know a pile of people who have said point blank to us, you know what? My first marriage failed because I was married to my business.
Yeah.
And in fact, Ron Cornbush has just commented on here. Biggest mistake I made. He said, he first married his business, not his family.
Yeah.
It's there is, and I'm reminded of the conversation I was having earlier today with a fella who's trying desperately to make this his full time, make it work for himself. He's like, Dave, I got to put in all these hours. And I'm like, look, first to acknowledge, there will be years, not just a couple of weeks or a couple of months. There will be years where you're going to have a really supportive family or whatever your support network is around you that allows you to put in that time. The goal is that be relieved at some point, though.
Yeah.
That it get to a point where you can then dial it back a little bit, because now what you've built, what you've created is working for you as opposed to you working for it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point.
So I don't want to just be, butterflies and blah, 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 that, hey, everybody should take time off. You have to get there. But I guess what I want to communicate tonight is I hope everybody that's watching this is maybe being reminded tonight to work toward that. Let that be one of the prizes at the end. Well, at the end, a couple of years from now, hopefully.
Yeah.
Because it's, I keep saying I do 40 to 45 events a year right now. I'd love to dial that back to 30. Keep my revenue the same, 30 events a year, and get more time off the kids. I'd get more time to volunteer within things within our industry, which, many of you know I like doing. But just let that be the goal, I guess. It is possible to get to that point. If you're drowning in work right now and you kind of sometimes hate summer because it's work, work, work. Where are you headed, I guess, is the question.
And, again, I didn't really want to bring this up, but the thing is, if you're going to put yourself in a position in your business, surround yourself with the people you admire, surround yourself with the people that you can give and take. You can give information, you can take information, you can bounce things off of them, you can communicate with them. They understand your business, you understand their business. And this last week, and this is really what fired up this entire show. Dave and I, we were fortunate to be around some of the people that we really admire, some of the people that we communicate and talk to with all the time. We would just all get on a group chat and just, hey, how's it going? How's the wife? How's the family? You have to surround yourself with people that you want to be like and that you want to be with. Mm-hmm. And that's what we did last weekend. It was an opportunity for us to for wives to meet. Dave's hadn't met some of the other wives that were up at the lake with us. That's our place. That's our place of Zen. And we wanted to share that with people that we love in the industry and people that we love being around. So that's what this is all about. That's what this show is all about, is if you're going to take the time, be around the people you want to be around, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends, other industry leaders, whatever it is, take the time and get to know them. But last week was truly amazing. Just being able to accommodate and, again, share something that we have so much passion in, which is our lake house, and share that with others. And, seeing the pictures and the comments in the pictures of, oh my gosh, this was so much fun. And, we got to experience things that some people had never seen or experienced before, such as trap shooting. The Australians are like, oh my gosh, you cannot touch a gun in Australia. So, just having fun with every little thing that we did. It was such an amazing week. I was actually looking forward more to last week than I was with Disney with my kids, and I was pretty excited about Disney with my kids. But it was such a fun experience.
Yeah, it was amazing. Thank you, Jared, for the days spent at your cabin last week. That was really incredible. And these were all people, like you mentioned, that you and I met through a Marbeka workshop, right?
Yeah, some Marbeka, and then also the Wed Guild process when we went through that a few years back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I met Bill at his workshop. I met you at a bronze MC workshop.
Yeah.
And we've
So where I wanted to go with that was, these are all people who I've met through the industry, who Jeremy has met through the industry, and they are the people that we made a conscious decision to surround ourselves with because we felt like-minded traits and trains of thought, among those people. So, that those people became our tribe.
Yeah.
And, if you are watching this going, okay, I need to find myself a tribe like that, a tribe that can, help move me to that position, that goal, that whatever you want to call it, where, we're enjoying life, enjoying business. We get to take some time off in the summer, and this is maybe a common theme on some of our shows, but you got to find that group of people. Now, it took me a while to find that group of people. I tried connecting with people where we just did not have an organic fit.
Yeah.
So know that is going to be a reality for every single person. Now, many of you maybe already have that tribe that you're thrilled with. Maybe some of you, are looking at the tribe going, maybe I need to change it a little bit. Now, this is not saying that people who are your tribe right now are terrible people. They're not. But we change every single day. I'm changing. And therefore, why the hell would my tribe be exactly the same as it was 20 years ago? It doesn't make any sense unless they all changed in exactly the same way as I did. And sometimes that does happen. Jeremy and I see that at weddings sometimes. I'm sure everybody's watching here has seen that sometimes, right? The groom, his groomsmen, he's known every one of them for 15, 20 years. That's not as common, I find, as one would think.
Yeah. I don't know how I can't really react to what you said, but no, I mean, again, I think you and I are always on the same page when we talk about, surrounding ourselves and we talk about the greatest showman. Like that's kind of been our thing lately, is talking about the greatest showman. If you haven't seen that, oh my gosh, you have to go see it. The songs basically tell the stories. It's a musical. And when he's running to his family and he's singing this song, From Now On, it's all about, I put so much energy and so much into my business that I lost the focus of why I was doing this in the first place. And I mean, there's times I catch myself doing that. I see myself going down this path because, oh, this is really successful, this is working great, a lot of great things are happening, but then I lose track of this. And that's something you can't give up. It's something you can't let go. So I really admire that movie because in a business standpoint, it teaches you so many lessons.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, all the music, just, oh geez, it's such a great movie.
Oh, we get Jeremy going down this road, folks. We'll never come back. Granted,
folks, 2-hour show.
Granted, it's become a bit of an obsession of mine since Jeremy insisted I watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I mean, that kind of circles back to the very beginning, right? Keep your eye on the prize. You may have to hustle right now. And P.T. Barnum, he did have to hustle, right? He did have to hustle for a while. But yeah, then, I mean, he just kind of never stopped hustling. And I know many people are a fan of the Gary Vaynerchuks of the world and this type of thing. But, you even see Gary stop and dial it back every now and then. Even though he's got hundreds of thousands of people following him, he says, hey, everybody, I'm gone for the next week, 10 days, 2 weeks. I'll see you later. He does that too. He may preach hustle, 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 but don't you believe for a second that that's all he does. Although the guy can hustle. Man, does he hustle. Jeremy has walked off screen because he's actually going to bring Gary Vaynerchuk in to surprise.
Yeah, here he is. No, someone who preaches it and lives it. This book right here, Celebrate Life.
Oh,
he is an amazing entertainer. Marcello out of Jersey. He's an amazing entertainer, runs a great business, but it's what he does with his life. It's what he does with his daughter. And that really, like, when I read this book, that was kind of one of my inspirations to, take care of myself, take care of my family, take care of everything, and allow my business to do that. So if you get a chance, go look at, I'm pretty sure you can get this on Amazon. I know you can get it on Amazon because I wrote a review on there. But I don't know if it's an Audible, but this is one of the easiest and quickest reads you will ever have.
Yeah, so true.
It's it's got a lot of good, it's got a lot of good graphic. It's got a lot of good just comments and context. So, like I said, this is a really good inspirational book if you're looking for that. If you need that kick in the butt to, find the focus and yeah, it's gosh, I think I'm gonna read it again. I haven't read this for like a year, I bet.
You know what? That's a good call. I'll probably dig into it as well. So summertime DJ balance. I certainly won't sit here, having said all of what I've said. I'll let Jeremy speak for himself and say that I've got it entirely figured out.
Oh gosh, no.
I was in front of this computer till 11:30 last night working. Okay. Granted, my wife wasn't upstairs, kind of, waiting for some company to watch a show or something. She was actually painting a kid's room. But, there are lots of late nights that happen in order to get that time.
Yeah.
And I want to make one more comment. Ever since reading Tim Ferriss and getting into Tim Ferriss, I am not a believer in disconnecting from work 100% when you're out on vacation. I remember doing that a couple of years ago. Went to Mexico, and I got back, and I instantly felt like I was 2 months behind.
Mm-hmm.
And all the good feels from the previous week, poof, gone just like that. So I loved what we did when we were down at your place, and I do this whenever I go away now. I don't mind mornings. Let's just say I like them a lot more than my wife does. So I love that getting up a couple hours before her, putting in some work. So that way I get the feeling of accomplishment that I got some work things done, and then I get to go enjoy the day. I think I actually get more enjoyment out of that when I'm taking time off than just taking the time off, knowing that when I get home, my head's going to explode.
Yeah.
What's your take on that? Because some people say disconnect entirely, right? Leave your phone at home.
It's almost impossible in this world of millennials that, hey, I want an answer right now, as well as the flexibility and technology that we have. When you look at the technology, brides and grooms know that you have a phone, that you probably have your email connected to your phone. So when they send you an email, they expect a reply right away, because 4 years ago, we'll even say 4 years ago. 4 years ago, you checked your email at your computer. Not many people had their email on their phone. And so now it's just kind of a given that, if I send out a message, I probably should be getting a reply back within 20 minutes, if not sooner, because they know you're connected. I thought last week it was really interesting, even though we had really crappy internet out in a cabin. It was actually really fun to see. I mean, you had Bill Herman over here with his laptop. You had Miranda, because Glenn doesn't actually do any work or any business. Doing doing her thing, and then you're on the couch, and I mean you've got your PJs on. You're just laid back and doing your thing. And then you got my wife who takes care of all the communication stuff. She's over there, doing her thing on the laptop, and it was almost kind of like you had to take turns. Like, okay, Dave's gonna send an email. Everybody stop what you're doing for a second.
Yeah.
So you can take turns. That's how bad the internet is there. But it was really cool to see that these people still took the time to take care of their business. They still took the time to take care of their clients. So I don't know if you really ever can disconnect from your business, especially if you run a business. If you are just a DJ who's working a full-time job and you're on vacation and the Dominican or wherever it is, and you basically let go of work, but you still have a DJ company, it's hard to let go of the DJ company. It's easy to let go of that full-time job because you're not the boss of that job.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the boss of that job and you're running a DJ business, then holy smokes, that's amazing.
Very true.
So I don't think everyone really ever lets go. And if there is somebody out there, please message Dave on the chat here. Let us know who you are so we can look at your business model.
Yeah.
We can learn from that.
I want to make a quick comment, read out one of the comments actually, and then make a comment on it. In fact, this could be a good future show topic because it's one I've gotten pretty fired up on with people. Greg, so shout out to Greg. Hey, Greg, haven't seen you in a few years, I think it's been now, my friend.
Is this regarding the
Anyway,
sync button?
no.
Okay.
He says, connected, sure, but gotta realize when something doesn't need to be replied to immediately and can wait a few hours for you to get to your computer. I'm so over people bitching that when you don't get back to them, quote unquote, immediately.
Yep.
Greg, I could not agree more. I went on a rant at some point, I don't remember where or when, about, the fact that if we get back to our couples right away all the time, all we're doing is training them to expect that. And I do not want to train my couples to expect that because I'm going to disappoint them terribly. So yeah, Greg, I mean, granted, I was running the online auction for the CPDGA while I was at Jeremy's place, so I was on a few more times in a day than I probably otherwise normally would have been. But yeah, once a day, jump on, hour or two, get some work done, reply to things, close it up, get back to the next day. Yeah. Response time. That should be a topic one day. Response time in the wedding business. Does it matter at all? By the way, quick shout out as well to Pascal. I was messaging with him earlier today. He's out in Victoriaville, Quebec. He's supported our online auction, and he and I have never met, never talked, but we'll be chatting later on this month. He's going to be, by the way, in Atlantic City for all of those who are heading to DJ Times. Are you heading there?
I'll be there. A brand new seminar. Well, no, I shouldn't say brand new seminar. A new seminar for this year. If you were at Midwest DJs Live, which you were there, I'm presenting that one I'm presenting this little light of mine, which is basically showing you some of the big events that we've done in the past, year and a half, 2 years, and breaking down all of the elements on how we created it. And so at Midwest DJs Live, I had 45 minutes to do this presentation. I have an hour and 45 minutes. So you are going to get the most in-depth, behind the scenes, backstage tour through all of our events that we've done. It's going to be great. So if you are going to be an AC, I think we're Tuesday morning at like 10 o'clock or 10:30, right before the show floor opens. So if you need to go to a seminar or you want to sit in a seminar, this is definitely one you're not going to want to miss. We're going to show how to use lighting in your performances at a higher level than what you might be doing right now. And like I said, there's definitely gonna be some new content since Midwest DJs Live. So it's gonna be an exciting seminar. I'm excited to share it with everybody. And holy smokes, I put a lot of time into this seminar.
All I gotta say, folks, is make sure you pound that Red Bull before you go to Jeremy's seminar.
Yeah, don't fall asleep.
Pascal, look at my friend Jeremy if you get the opportunity. Pascal has, I think, passed DJ of the year from there. Pascal, God, I'm probably misquoting you now, my friend. I'm sorry. Anyway, Canada represent. I don't know who else from Canada is going to be at AC, but it's on my bucket list. I got to get there one day.
It's a good show. It's definitely, to me, it's a very gear heavy show. If you like to see the new stuff, I'm speaking for Chauvet. And I think one of the things that people don't understand, I don't actually work for Chauvet. Like I don't have business cards from Chauvet or anything like that. Basically how that all started, and I think I've talked about this in past shows, but how that all started was Bernice Chauvet, who was the marketing director for Chauvet Lighting, obviously. She had saw a shop time video that I did. I painted one of my moving heads, and I actually kind of gave a walkthrough of, take it apart like this, do that, do this, and then prime it and then paint it. And she saw this video and she's like, I would really love to, meet this guy. I'd love to sit down and get to know him. And
really?
They offered me a couple years back. They said, we would love for you to come work for us. And I'm like, I've got it pretty good here in Sioux Falls. I mean, I know people are like, what's in Sioux Falls? We have a really good, strong market when it comes to the wedding industry. Like economically, we're very stable. So stay out of my market. I have this already taken care of. But anyways, I was like, I can't move. My family and everything is up there. My business is successful up there. So they said, well, would you be interested in speaking for us at the different trade shows? And I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. I love inspiring people, like shows like this. Hopefully I inspire people. But I get to share my knowledge, and I love doing that, because if it wasn't for like Mikey Mike, he was actually one of my first inspirations. I would always YouTube Mikey Mike, and see the snow machine he was using, and this and that, and I just loved watching his shows. And so it's like, gosh, I want to give back. I want to be able to show people what I do, how I do it, and that's where the whole shop time thing came into place too. It was an opportunity for me to share. So anyways, long story short, or long story not as long as it probably could be, I get to speak at all the different trade shows, and Chauvet, again, they fly me there, and then I get to speak for them at their trade shows, and hopefully show people and inspire people what's possible when it comes to lighting and design. So if you get a chance, please come see me at AC. Come up and say, hey, saw you on the show, and so on, because I love getting those. When we were at Midwest DJs Live, it was so cool. People coming up to us and be like, hey guys, I love your show. It's like, good, somebody watches. So it's just so encouraging to hear those things. And
very true.
Like I said, we're normal people. Come up and talk to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very, very true. Very true. Well, let's sum things up. So I don't know, in a nutshell, you may or may not be at that summertime balance. I don't claim to have gotten it, but I've shared a little bit about, what summer balance looks like for me now. If you're not there and you're fretting a little bit, just have it on the horizon. Set out a path to get yourself there. I know for me, just the short version is I trained and trained and trained and trained until I was earning enough revenue from the events that I personally do that I was able to take the time off. Obviously, that's a different business model than somebody like Jeremy, who took absolutely zero training at all and just hired a bunch of people. I mean, it's
you asked Mark and Rebecca, who has the most Marbecca certificates? And I'm not doing it for a piece of paper.
I think I'm like one up on you there, aren't I?
How many do you have?
It's 8 or 9.
I'm at 12.
No.
Yep, I personally am at 12.
I concede, folks, right here, live. I concede. Yeah. But yeah, my business model obviously isn't everybody's. It's a single op. Jeremy's is slightly different, but find a path to get yourself there. If you want to, if you want to reach out to me or Jer, I'm just going to speak on Jeremy's behalf. Certainly reach out and say, okay, this is my situation. How do I get there? Now, we may push you into some uncomfortable areas.
Oh, yeah.
All right, talk away X% of your money because you're going to be taking this training, this training, and this training because that's going to lead to this. We may push you into areas that you might go, no. That'll be your decision to make. But reach out if you want some advice, a friend.
My closing thoughts, whether you're a single op or multi-op, look into financial peace. And if you're looking at saying, hey, I'm going to take some time off, have that extra money banked, knowing that I'm not going to be working for a week or 2 weeks, whatever it is. Have that saved up and use that as your egg if you need it. As a multi-op, and gosh, I wish I had the answers. I don't have all the answers for this as a multi-op. I've tried, and it's about getting the right people in the right seats. And I can tell you, I've been in a position where we've had some hires that were not the right fits. Yeah. And there's a lot of things in our company. We have a lot of goals. We have a lot of ideas that we want to do. And I know right now that the full-time staff that we have, we can't take any more on right now. So when we're ready to find those right people, or when we find those right people, then we'll be ready to dig into those new goals and perspectives, the new ideas that we really want to jump into and expand our company. But you have to make sure that it's feasible, because if you just jump into it and it's not feasible, you're going to burn yourself out. You're going to lose your business because you're burning the candle at too many different at two ends. And again, you just go read the book. Just go read the book.
Go read the book.
But yeah, that's kind of it. Multi-op, single op, go get yourself financially financially stable, take financial peace, and you're not going to have to feel like you are working for your business. Your business will work for you.
Amen. That. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I realize we've been a little hit and miss this summer. Okay, we've been pretty miss. But, looking forward to getting back, creating regular conversation. Reach out if you have any questions. I'm Dave.
I'm Jeremy. Thanks for watching, guys.
Good night.